Most allotment holders grow too much of the wrong things and not enough of the right ones. Not because they are lazy or inexperienced, because nobody ever sat them down and did the maths. You plant a row of courgettes in May, feeling optimistic. By July, you are leaving bags of them on neighbors' doorsteps and quietly hoping nobody notices. Meanwhile, you are buying salad leaves from the supermarket every single week because you never got around to sowing them. The courgette glut is almost a rite of passage on a British allotment, but it is also a symptom of something. A planning gap between what sounds good in a seed catalogue and what a real family actually eats. So let us close that gap. The family of 4 method is not a rigid formula. It is a way of thinking about your plot, a framework for matching what you grow to what you genuinely consume. And once you understand the logic behind it, you will never look at your raised beds the same way again. The principle is straightforward. A family of 4 needs roughly 350 to 400 square meters of productive growing space to supply the majority of their vegetables across a full calendar year. That happens to be almost exactly the size of a standard UK allotment plot, which is traditionally measured at 10 rods, approximately 250 square meters, though many sites allocate full plots closer to 300 square meters and half plots around 125. So you may already be working with the right amount of land. The question is whether you are using it correctly. The method works by dividing your crops into 3 tiers: high yield staples, medium yield regulars, and low yield luxuries. Each tier earns its space on the plot differently, and knowing which crops belong where changes every decision you make from seed order to spacing. High yield staples are the backbone of the method. These are crops that produce heavily relative to the space they occupy, store well, and get eaten consistently. Potatoes, onions, broad beans, runner beans, courgettes. Yes, even courgettes, just far fewer of them than you think. A family of 4 eating potatoes regularly needs approximately 15 to 20 meters of row. That sounds like a lot until you realize a single row of main crop potatoes can yield 15 kilograms from just 5 meters of bed. 3 or 4 well-planned rows of a variety like Desiree or King Edward can carry you comfortably from August through to Christmas. Onions and garlic take up relatively little space and store brilliantly. 2 to 3 square meters of onion sets planted in autumn or early spring will give you enough to stop buying them for months. This is the kind of return on space that justifies every square centimeter. And courgettes, 2 plants, that is the family of 4 method number. 2 plants only, not 6, not 8, 2. Medium yield regulars are the crops you eat every week but which need a little more thought about spacing, succession, and timing. Salad leaves, beetroot, chard, spinach, spring onions, peas, leeks. This is where most growers underinvest. You grow a single row of lettuce, it bolts in a warm week, and suddenly you are back to buying it. The method solves this with succession sowing. Let's say small quantities every 2 to 3 weeks rather than one large planting. For a family of 4, a single square meter of salad mix sown in successions from March to September will provide fresh leaves almost continuously. 1 square meter, that is the size of a large floor tile. Leeks are particularly valuable in this tier because they fill the hungry gap. Sown in spring and planted out in early summer, they stand in the ground all through autumn and winter, ready to harvest as you need them. 10 meters of leek row is enough for a family of 4 to harvest once or twice a week from October through to March. Peas are generous but brief. 2 or 3 meters of row, succession sown, gives you that fresh sweet flavor that no frozen pea can replicate. Grow them for the joy of them, but know they earn their tier. Low yield luxuries are the crops that take significant space or time relative to what they produce, but which you grow because an allotment is not purely a logistics exercise. It is also a pleasure. Sweet corn needs at least a 3 by 3 block to pollinate properly. That is 9 square meters for roughly 20 to 30 cobs, a handsome crop, but a significant land investment. Worth it? Absolutely, if you love sweet corn and you eat it the moment it is picked, which is the only way to truly taste it. But it earns the luxury label. Squash and pumpkins sprawl. A single butternut squash plant can colonize 2 square meters of ground and produce 3 or 4 fruits, satisfying in October, a little extravagant in May when you could have grown 5 different crops in that footprint. The method does not tell you to abandon your luxuries. It tells you to name them honestly so you can make the trade-off with your eyes open. Walk your allotment and mentally divide it into those 3 tiers. Roughly half your space should go to staples, a third to regulars, the remaining fifth to luxuries and experiments. Sketch it out. Even a rough pencil plan on a piece of paper before the season starts will save you the Kojit problem, the bare salad bed problem, the 3-meter gap you left for a crop you never got around to sowing. The family of 4 method is not about growing every single vegetable you eat. It is about growing the right ones, in the right amounts, at the right times. It is about making your plot work for your kitchen, not just your seed tin. So over to you. Which crop do you always seem to grow too much of, and which one do you always end up buying anyway despite having the space for it? Leave both answers in the comments. The contrast might be more revealing than you expect. And if this helped you understand your plot a little better, subscribe to GROWALLOT Studio. There is always more going on down on the allotment than meets the eye.